I'm about to explain to you all the parallels between Elvis and me.
After it played on the Cannes red carpet when the film premiered, and it played at its after party, we finally get to hear Eminem's contribution to the Elvis soundtrack 8 days before the movie comes out, and holy crap, it's incredible.
Cause me and Elvis gel together like cellmates. Yeah, this the jailhouse, bitch.
Now, back in 2009, Eminem told the Metro Times, "I never was really an Elvis fan. I'll tell you one thing though, one respect I do have for that guy was that, well, obviously he was a great artist, but I just never was really into his music. I'll tell you something, that mofo could dance." And part of that revelation for Eminem was when he dressed up as Elvis and name dropped him in his monster of a track, Without Me, 20 years ago.
And the worst things I'm Elvis Presley to do black music so selfishly and use it to get myself wealthy.
And Marshall brings up that argument around him and Elvis again in The King and I.
I stole black music, yeah, true, perhaps used it.
But at the Cannes press conference for Elvis, the film's director Baz Luhrmann pointed out the similar upbringing that Marshall and Elvis had.
The most important thing in this film is to show that a young kid, just like Eminem, grew up in a black community. Young kids don't care. Their personalities are formed by what's around them and what they absorbed. So the music that came out of Elvis was music that he absorbed.
So despite Eminem not being the biggest fan of Elvis, Baz got him to be on the soundtrack. And on The King and I, Eminem seems to come to terms, I guess, with the parallels between that king and him.
We both been held as king. He used to rock the jailhouse and I used to rock the shelter.
This is an incredible track. Like, I gotta say, I've grown tired of Eminem over the years, and I don't think his music holds up particularly well outside of Lose Yourself. But when I heard the song, like an hour ago for the first time, I had my earpods in, and I literally was sitting like this, like just listening to every single word. I love when a rapper makes me do that. Like Kendrick makes me do that, Kanye makes me do that, Drake makes me do that sometimes, but Drake's a whole other conversation. But yeah, when I really want to listen to the lyrics, and I mean, Eminem is rapping at a crazy fast pace, but I'm still sitting there listening to every single word. I think this is one of Eminem's best tracks ever. And we got a really interesting thing going on with this soundtrack for Elvis. So now we have one song from a guy who publicly said he's not a big fan of Elvis, but at least he's using the sample of Jailhouse Rock on his track. Then we have Doja Cat's incredible Vegas track, where she opted to use Big Mama Thornton's sample of Hound Dog instead of Elvis's version. So clearly the soundtrack is not like a glowing tribute to Elvis, even though these two songs are absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's a really interesting thing going on here. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Eminem and CeeLo Green's The King and I?